What is going on, class? This is Chris Walton, your instructor for AV265, Aerospace Accident Investigation. So, first off, hope you're having a great week. Hope your week's going well. Going through the introductions, and you guys did a great job at those introductions. Good job posting it. I know it's a little difficult sometimes to figure out how to post a video, but once you figure it out, you are good to go. So kudos to that. I'm going to reply to as many as I can. I'm not sure if I'm getting to them all, but I'm doing my best to reply to as many as possible. This week we are starting on the NTSB, National Transportation and Safety Bureau, and what that is. Well, board. It was originally Bureau, but National Transportation and Safety Board, also known as the NTSB. So they are an aviation accident investigation entity. They investigate more than accidents. They investigate, well, more than aviation. They investigate maritime accidents, major highway accidents, and aviation is primarily what it's made up. So I'm gonna go through and talk about a little bit about the history of what the NTSB is, National Transportation Safety Board. That's a tongue twister. And I'm giving little fun facts, and then I will talk about the assignment for the week, and we'll go from there, right? So a little history. The NTSB was first created by the Department of Transportation Act in 1966. So that was signed by President Lyndon B. Johnson. So that was the president that came after, there goes my notes. President that came after John F. Kennedy. When he was assassinated, Lyndon B. Johnson came into president as the VP to now the president. And so, blooper number one. Oh my goodness. And so I'm gonna talk and fix this as I talk. Yeah, my tripod is like acting up. But where was I? Oh yeah, Lyndon B. Johnson. One of the things he did was he created the Department of Transportation, DOT, and that was created by the Act of Department of Transportation Act. So that's when they were first charged with investigating accidents. Before they did it, the CAB, Civil Aeronautics Board, did it. And before CAB did it, the Department of Commerce was responsible for investigating aviation accidents. So, originally under the NTSB was originally under, or investigation was originally underneath that. But after the Transportation Safety Act in 1974, that created the NTSB as its own body. So the Department of Transportation has, I believe, I want to say 9. They have 9 different departments underneath them, of various departments, Department of like Commerce, Department of Highway Patrol and Safety, things like that. And before, accident investigation was underneath that, but then it's currently its own entity, its own division. So this is history. NTSB, they have a board. A board is composed of 5 members. These members are appointed by the president and then confirmed by the Senate. And the term of the board is 5 years. The headquarters for the National Transportation and Safety Board is in Washington, D.C., but they have multiple field offices. So these are offices kind of like mini divisions, pretty much. And those are scattered throughout the country. There's 10 total. One's in Atlanta, one's in Chicago, one's in Denver, Dallas, Fort Worth, Los Angeles, Kansas City, Miami, Seattle, and I believe New York City. So there's a couple of them. They kind of help when sending out staff to investigate an accident. They send them from the closest field office, and then they can bring information back to that field office versus going all the way to headquarters in Washington, D.C. Some of their responsibilities. So in addition to investigating aviation accidents, they also do civil aviation accidents, highway accidents. So the major ones with like maybe like tractor trailers or multiple car pileups, they do that. They do passenger train accidents. So if a train derails off the tracks, they will go out and investigate that. Maritime accidents, so boat crashes, and then pipeline accidents as well. The aviation is their largest. I should turn this around so you guys can see. But aviation is the largest of the National Transportation Safety Board's division. Out of all the other accidents, they investigate more aviation accidents than anything else. And this includes air carrier accidents, so accidents between two airliners, commercial carriers. If, say, American Airlines crashes, they will investigate that. This includes in-flight collisions, so if two aircraft crash mid-flight, they will investigate that, no matter what if it's a commercial or if it's general aviation. This also includes general aviation accidents that have fatalities, so if someone dies in a general aviation accident, maybe taking a private single engine aircraft from a trip from Florida to DC and it crashes or something like that and there's deaths, they will investigate that. If it's something minor, that would go to the FAA. They also investigate air taxi, charter, commuter accidents, all those types. Try to look at the major stuff, the major bullet points. Since their introduction, since they became their own entity in 1967, there actually has been a improvement in aviation safety by being able to investigate what the cause of it was. They were able to kind of cite, hey, this needs to be corrected, and then airlines, aircraft manufacturers, everyone was able to, or even the FAA was able to make recommendations and take their information and improve systems as well as improve technology or improve like parts, and that those recommendations helped decrease the amount of accidents per year and improve aircraft safety. So statistic, as of 2005, the chance of passenger on a major carrier being involved in a fatal accident is 1 in 3 million. So before that, it was a lot more. Now it's decreased. I'm not going to go into the steps for the accident investigation. That's next week. We're going to there's 6 steps to what happens. So when an accident happens, the NTSB sends something out. They send a team out. It's called the GO team. And then the different steps to that. We're going to go into that next week. I just want to give you a brief overview of what the NTSB is, National Transportation and Safety Board. Main thing to know is that they don't have any power to make recommendations or like change regulations or anything like that. They're only a recommendation only body. So if say like an aircraft crashes, they can't say, hey, we need to change this regulation so that this doesn't happen again. They can only make a recommendation to the FAA, make a recommendation to Delta Airlines for their practices, make a recommendation to Boeing, or anything like that. Say, hey, this is what we found. These are our findings. They present their findings, and the FAA takes that information. Airlines take that information. Manufacturers take that information, and then they do what they decide. Now, the FAA can decide, hey, based on this recommendation, we are implementing this new rule and regulation, this new restriction, and they can do that. But the NTSB, they cannot do that. They don't have that power. They only have power to make recommendations. They investigate and make recommendations. Good, got it. Awesome. So for this week, it's you're posting a video. There's a link. I included a link to the history of the NTSB. Review that, read that. It's a short, brief read. It'll give you more insight on what the NTSB is. In addition to that, there are about 6 questions. Question number 1, what act led to the creation of NTSB? Question number 2, what types of accidents is the NTSB responsible for investigating? Why do you think Congress established the NTSB as its own entity? And so forth and so forth. So go through those questions. As you make your video, respond to those questions, as well as tell me about what you're up to. What's your day like? What are you doing? Today, my shirt was a little wet because I just sprayed the backyard for mosquitoes and I had to use a water hose. So that's why my shirt's a little wet. Prior to that, I was making quesadillas for dinner. Fun fact, I made vegetarian quesadillas. They didn't have any meat. They were actually better than I thought. They were really good. They were pretty fat, nice and stuffed. They had like jalapenos, tomatoes, onions, mushrooms, something else. I put something else in them. Cheese, of course. They're really good, really, really good. I'm gonna start showing you probably pictures of other stuff, maybe my dogs and things like that, just so you have an idea, just to see what's going on in your world, in your life, and you can see what's going on in my world, in my life. So, if you have any questions, you have my email. I know most of you've been able to reach out to me through email, and I've responded. If you need you have my cell in the this, so that's also there. Until next time, take care. Have a great week. I look forward to watching all of your discussions.